This week on Dateline Abuja, we went on a tour of impound lots run by the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, or DRTS as they are fondly called. And though we weren't allowed to record the court proceedings, we came across traffic offenders facing one of 4 judges who preside over mobile courts that try road traffic offenders. We'll show you more in our focus on the FCT. Our guest is in charge of the DRTS, and he helps us answer a few questions on the duplication of responsibilities and the legitimacy of the activities in Abuja. We will also be updating you on major stories from Nigeria's presidency. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I am Kayla Megwa. Let's begin with that update. What happened this week in the Tinubu-led administration? Quite a lot, I tell you, but you can see for yourself on our Abuja wrap.
President Bola Tinubu has introduced a provisional wage increment of 25,000 naira to those he described as low-grade workers to enhance the federal minimum wage for the next 6 months. This is contained in his first Independence Anniversary broadcast to Nigerians.
We have embarked on a several sector reform to stabilize the economy, direct physical and monetary policy to fight inflation, encourage production, ensure the security of lives and property, and lend more support to the poor and the vulnerable. Based upon our talks with labor, business, and other stakeholders, we are introducing a provisional wage award increment to enhance the federal minimum wage without causing undue inflation. For the next 6 months, the average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month. To ensure better grassroots development, we set up an infrastructure support for states to invest in critical areas. States have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices.
As part of activities to mark the country's 63rd independence anniversary, a military parade took place at the forecourt of the presidential villa in Abuja. The parade was witnessed by President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kassim Shettima, the leadership of the National Assembly, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, top government officials, and members of the diplomatic corps. The occasion featured different military drills and marches, cultural displays and performances, cutting of the anniversary cake, among other activities.
This is a new chapter in information management for our country. Communication will be a very straightforward one. We will tell Nigerians the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's no longer going to be, a system where everything will be said because government wants it to be so. We're going to take the interest of Nigerians in dissemination of information. Nigerians will come first. We'll tell you exactly as it is. Of course, we'll tell you the way it is very well.
Organized labor unions have suspended their planned nationwide strike action after they reached an agreement with the federal government delegation on some palliative measure following the removal of fuel subsidy. The suspension will last for 30 days, during which labor will monitor the implementation of the agreement.
The federal government grants a wage award of 35,000 naira only to all federal government workers, beginning from the month of September, pending when a new minimum wage is expected to have been signed into law. 2, a minimum wage committee shall be inaugurated within 1 month from the date of this agreement. 3, federal government suspends collection of value-added tax, VAT, on diesel for 6 months beginning from October 2023. The NLC and the TUC accept to suspend for 30 days the planned indefinite nationwide strike scheduled to begin Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2023. And 15, this memorandum shall be filed with the relevant court of competent jurisdiction within 1 week as consent judgment by the federal government.
There was drama in the Senate during the screening of the latest 3 ministerial nominees, as the nominee from Kaduna State, Mr. Balarabe Lawal, slumped during the exercise. Mr. Lawal was the second nominee to be screened during the session. Though he was revived, he was not allowed to continue with the process. Earlier, Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, daughter of former Transport Minister Mr. Ibrahim Bio, was screened, while the third nominee, Mr. Ayodele Lawande from Ondo State, was also screened. The Senate later confirmed all three nominees.
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, considered the request of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for the confirmation of nominees for appointment as ministers of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Senate has resolved to invite the service chiefs, including the Inspector General of Police and the National Security Advisor, to discuss the insecurity in the country and find solutions to the problem. The upper chamber took the decision after debating a motion on the kidnap of 5 female students from the Federal University of Dusinma in Katsina State on Wednesday.
A fortnight ago, 25 school students of Federal University of Gusau were also abducted. Fortunately, 16 of them were successfully freed 3 days later during the rescue conducted by security agencies. Worried that these kidnap incidents have thrown the university and academic communities into a panic mood, aware that 8 core members have been kidnapped by suspected terrorists on their way to camp in Zamfara State on Monday, August 21st, 2023, the co-members were traveling in an Akwa Ibom transport company bus from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, to Sokoto State for the 1-year mandatory national service when their vehicle was intercepted by the terrorists.
The federal government is promising to prioritize education and improve the welfare of teachers as Nigerians join the rest of the world to mark the 2023 International Teachers' Day. Vice President Kashim Shettima made the promise at a ceremony in Abuja.
Our teachers, we are not just going to focus solely on technological advancements. The human aspect of education is just as critical as the infrastructure. Our teachers deserve to be treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. It is my promise that we will work tirelessly to build a society where the teachers' rewards begins to manifest here on earth, not just in the hereafter. As we gather to commemorate the 2023 World Teachers' Day and present the President Teachers and School Excellence Awards, allow me to note that my pledge to improve the condition of our teachers isn't enough. This is why we will foster a culture of appreciation for our teachers. This is why we will recognize their contribution, not just on World Teachers' Day, but throughout the year.
President Bola Tinubu is poised to ensure that security is fully restored to the Northeast and the country as a whole. Vice President Kashim Shettima said these when he received a 10-year master plan designed by the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja.
The master plan has 4 phases for implementation, starting from the low-hanging fruits that will stabilize the situation, up to the final development, encouraging people to come and invest in the Northeast. Then we have 11 pillars. These 11 pillars covers almost all the sectors. You can think of education, health, agriculture, and so on and so forth. And also have one very important sector, we call it a connected region. That is cross-state kind of pillar that will get us to do things that will benefit all the 6 states in the region.
The Vice President also received a development strategy and plan document from leaders of thought from the Northeast, led by former Federal Commissioner for Information and Culture, retired Major General Ibrahim Haruna.
We had examined many of the sectors impinging on our development and growth, and we made our reports and made recommendations on them, which we believe will help not just the government, but the people in advancing our future investments.
The Directorate of Road Traffic Services, or DRTS, is a very busy office. We got a glimpse into the work they do this week as we followed them around to 5 impound lots in Abuja. 233 vehicles, 113 tricycles, and 153 commercial motorcycles have been seized by officers of the DRTS between May the 28th and June the 12th this year alone. The offenders are facing trials in mobile courts. In addition to ensuring proper road traffic in Abuja, the DRTS is a revenue-generating agency for the nation's capital. And as residents continue to flout traffic rules and regulations, the DRTS is well on its way to surpass their 2023 revenue target of 5 billion naira, just as it did in 2022. Please watch this. We were told this is a routine operation by the Directorate of Road Traffic Services. A look at cars, tricycles and bikes impounded between May the 29th, 2023 and June the 12th, 2023 for various traffic violations, such as general license issues, improper parking, disregarding traffic signs and road markings, vehicle defects, excessive loading of vehicles, and a lack of safety devices. In 2022 alone, the DRTS inspected 46,231 vehicles. 20,087 vehicles failed that inspection. 383 vehicles were involved in car accidents with 43 fatalities in 2022. The DRTS impounded a total of 991 cars, 2,731 commercial motorcycles, and 671 tricycles. With a revenue target of 4.7 billion naira, the DRTS exceeded this target, generating 4.9 billion naira in revenue from traffic violations in 2022. This tour of impound lots in the nation's capital begins with the Mabushi Recovery Unit. It has 22 impounded vehicles. Next, the team takes the media to the impound lot at AYA, which is housing 33 vehicles, 9 dispatch bikes, and 7 tricycles. At the Julius Berger Command, these 26 cars and 13 bikes were seized in just 2 days. And added to the infractions here is the fact that a lot of the dispatch riders do not have rider permits, work for unbranded businesses, and are not wearing the proper gear.
Most of the vehicles here they park illegally. They cause traffic jam, especially under Berger Bridge and on top of Berger Bridge and at that nearby. So most of them they operate in an unauthorized area.
Here at the Jabi Command, these 50 cars and 8 tricycles were seized for illegal parking and non-roadworthiness.
There's a lot of campaigns going on. We enlighten them on how to use the roads. These vehicles are like their homes. You should know how if your house is leaking, you know how it's leaking. Some of them, this is where they earn their living. You should know that you should keep what you're earning your living good. Not for you, but for the other road users.
The tour ends at the Wuye Command, which has in its impound 135 cars, 2 dispatch motorcycles, 153 commercial bikes, and 98 tricycles. The lot also has a mobile court, and while we're not allowed to film the proceedings, these traffic defaulters are being processed before they stand trial. The transport unions in Abuja are also present to give support to their members standing trial. They have an urgent appeal to the FCT administration.
Some of my members, I got a call that some of them were arrested, and their messenger have to come and intervene for them. So that's why we are here. Some of them were illegal parking, and I have over 19 of them here that I came to intervene for.
In the normal circumstances, what we are is illegal. We have to confess that it's illegal because that place is not garage. And really, there's no garage in Abuja. There's no bus stop in Abuja also. And there's nowhere we can at least park to get our daily bread if it is not that place. But with lack of organize, we don't organize within ourselves. So actually where they came to us, they have to apprehend us because we are not organized. And that is why we are here. And most of our cars have been here for over 2 weeks. And that is why we are here. So we are pleading for the government to also look into it.
So far, there have been 64 convictions from traffic violations by the DRTS in 2023 alone. The Directorate is 1,123 staff strong with 9 divisions and 10 special units. And they say these operations will continue for the foreseeable future. Residents of the nation's capital are urged to adhere to the laid-down traffic regulations and ensure they have the proper documentation to drive in Abuja, whether in private or commercial capacities. My guest on the program is Dr. Abdulateef Bello, the Director, FCT Directorate of Road Traffic Services, DRTS. We picked his brain on the legitimacy of the activities following the ruling of a court in Delta State, outlawing the activities on the roads. We talked about the accusations on the duplication of job functions with the Federal Road Safety Corps and what plans they have for Abuja's residents as the year continues to unfold. Please watch this. Dr. Abdulateef Bello, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
My pleasure.
We had a fantastic time with your team, and it was very eye-opening. I think one of the first things that I realized was that the VIO is just a department under the DRTS. So talk to us a bit about this structure. The DRTS, what does it comprise of, and what do Nigerians, especially those who live in the nation's capital, what do they need to understand about the work that you do?
Okay, the DRTS is a creation of Cap 548, the Federal Republic Nigeria law, and it simply mandated us to conduct general, motor vehicle administration and traffic management and control. So within the ambit of motor vehicle administration, we do registration and deregistration of motor vehicles, licensing, inspection of motor vehicles, and then roadworthiness check. So the traffic management aspect gives us the mandate to organize a seamless traffic flow in the city and then to actually find all traffic infringements. So
let's talk about the biggest elephants in the room. There are two. There are two very big elephants. One of them is the fact that many people believe that the DRTS and the vehicle inspection officers, that's the VIO, they believe this is a duplication of jobs. There's the Federal Road Safety Corps, and there are so many other agencies that ensure that our roads are good enough for people to drive on, and that the cars on the road are responsible and the drivers themselves are responsible. Do you think this is a duplication of jobs? What kind of explanation do you give to people when they come up with that particular question?
Yeah, obviously, since I resumed office as the director of DRTS last year, and I've been confronted with, similar questions. What is the difference? Why do we have to, what do we do differently from what the road safety do? And where is the line, dividing line, and where is the convergence and all that? But I've always made people to understand that motor vehicle administration and traffic management is the responsibility of state. It's a residual matter. The federal road safety is supposed to maintain trunk A, the one that you call federal roads. But I wouldn't want to go into too much details of why we now have this convergence of responsibilities. But I think embedded in the intention is revenue. But all the same, I am a person that believes in an institutional cooperation or collaboration or corporate collaboration. So I don't believe that, we should overemphasize, who should do what or be, over-territorial. Well, I think if we work together, if we have synergy, the objective is very clear, is to establish sanity on our roads.
The second elephant in the room has to do with this court case in Delta State. And there are many people who believe that there is, the VIO especially, that's the department under the DRTS,
yes,
have no business on the roads, have no business checking people's particulars. What's the explanation you have about that? What about this dynamic don't we understand? Because we see them here in Abuja. In fact, right now, there's a lot of you on the road.
Exactly, yeah.
So Explain to us what's really going on with this matter.
Yeah,
should you be on the roads or not?
Whether, we have right to be on the road or not, like I said, is a state decision.
Is there a court order saying you shouldn't be on the roads?
No, I think that court order was applicable to Delta State. Because, like I said, motor vehicle administration and traffic management is a state matter. And each
so
state,
that court order is applicable to Delta State, but not to the FCT?
No, not at all. It does not cross, the state, boundary, because our own regulation is different from other states. I think, to me, we will have to go beyond motor inspection on the road when we embrace full technology, It's a matter of transition. I don't think it's a matter of law.
I've actually heard you say this before.
Yes.
Are you saying that if the technology that is required to be able to check cars by just looking at their numbers,
yes,
if that exists, we would not need DRTS on the roads? Is that what you're saying?
We will not need many of our men, unless those that are working to recover the road. When I mean recovering the road means that if there are accidents, there are men that will be on the road, to make sure that they evacuate and free the road, for other road users.
How do you ensure enforcement?
Of course, you have to renew your vehicle yearly. Now you have to approach us to renew. And the details of your infringements, your billings are all there.
So when you come for a renewal,
yes, of course, we'll advise you.
We'll be able to say, look,
or we'll take our money,
you have.
Or we'll take our money and give you the balance and still ask you to pay for, renewals.
What necessitated it?
There are areas definitely that we don't have rights, especially when you talk about penalties. It's the responsibility of the courts, to actually, penalize. So that is why all we just do is that once your conduct is beyond the normal regular fines, we make you to face the mobile court.
In the FCT, what would you say traffic infringements are the worst in Abuja?
If you look at Area 1.
Area 1?
Yes, Area 1. And then Usebega, AYA, and then Maitama by Banex in the Federal Capital City. These are very critical, red flag areas. Before
we let you go, just a word to the driver in the FCT, and not just commercial drivers, even regular people.
I think the most important thing, like I always say, wherever forum I'm invited to talk to the public, I always advise that it's good to be on the side of law because it's cheaper. Honestly, it's cheaper. Most of those people that were, arrested or their vehicles impounded, before they will get out of that place, nobody will pay less than 50,000. I'm not sure there is any fine that will be less than 50,000. And some of those vehicles may never go back. So why don't we just obey the simple traffic regulation? We are not supposed to park and pick from here. Don't do that. We are not supposed to drive against traffic. A lot of people keep driving against traffic. And then it's difficult for us to track them because we are dealing with something that is mobile. In most cases, our people used to pursue them. But for advice, don't pursue. Just pick their number and we'll wait. So we're just waiting for technology to, come in so that we can actually handle some of these infractions in the city, properly.
Well, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
For being with us on Dateline Abuja, and good luck with all the work that you do.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. Doing the right thing is just cheaper. On our way back from the impound lot visits, it became so clear to me how unruly many drivers in the nation's capital are, both commercial and private. Let's not even go into the dispatch riders and tricycle riders problem. As we saw in the report, many of them do not have riders' permits, and yet here they are, driving recklessly across Abuja. These drivers put their lives and the lives of others in danger. In truth, they should be taken off the roads as a matter of public safety. Dr. Bello believes a state of emergency should be declared on driving in the nation's capital. There are so many trainings and workshops sensitizing drivers, especially the commercial ones, on the right driving practice for the nation's capital. But the infractions continue. So much so that in 2022, the DRTS surpassed its revenue target, generating over 4.9 billion naira in fines from traffic violations. This year, the target is 5 billion naira, and they believe with the things that are going on right now, they will surpass this target. The directorate wants residents to know they do not see or have access to these monies as they go directly to the FCT accounts. One thing is clear, though. The more careful and law-abiding drivers are in the nation's capital, the less money they make. Let's make sure they make as little money as possible this year. That's Dateline Abuja this week. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I am Kayla Megwa. See you next time.